Hello everyone, welcome back. So, even without physically appearing in Daredevil Born Again Season 2, the Punisher's presence is still deeply felt and in some ways even more disturbing than before. At the end of Season 1, Frank Castle escaped from Fisk's anti vigilante task force, meaning he's out there somewhere. But Season 2 makes it clear early on that he won't be directly involved in the story. Still, the impact of everything he's done hasn't disappeared and it's evolved. The clearest example is the anti vigilante task force itself. In Season 2, the anti-vigilante task force is now wearing upgraded uniform marked with a version of the Punisher's iconic skull logo. That's a huge shift. What used to be Frank Castle's personal symbol of his brutal war on crime has now been hijacked and turned into a bench of authority by corrupt officers. And that's the key idea. Punisher's legacy has been twisted. Back in season 1, some members of the task force already idolized Frank for the wrong reasons, especially Cole North, who even impersonated him during a mission. Now that mindset has spread. The system itself is using Frank's image to justify its own violent crackdown on vigilantes. So even though Frank isn't on screen, his ideology is, but it's misinterpreted and weaponized in a way he likely wouldn't support. The Punisher operates by his own code, targeting criminals with ruthless precision. The EVTF, on the other hand, is using that symbol to enforce fist control and blur the line between justice and operation. That makes his absence feel intentional. Instead of showing Frank directly, the show explores what happens when his symbol outlives him in a system that corrupts it. It turns him into a kind of a myth, one that others can misuse. At the same time, the MCU isn't sidelining the character at all. This is actually a huge year for the Punisher. John Bernthal is set to headline the Punisher One Last Kill, a Disney Plus special that promises a much more focused and brutal story centered entirely on Frank. And top of that, he is also confirmed to appear in Spider-Man Brand New Day, marking his first big screen MCU role. So while Born Again Season 2 steps back from using him directly, it's clearly part of a bigger plan. His absence allows the show to examine his legacy, how symbols can be corrupted, how influence can spread beyond control, while saving his actual return for stories where he can take center stage again. And interestingly, there are still hints he could show up in small way. Location like his old safe house appearing in trailers suggests the door isn't completely closed. In the end, the Punisher isn't gone. He's just become something larger, not just a man but an idea. And in Daredevil Born Again Season 2, that idea is shaping the world in a dangerous way. That's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.